This is Concorde, flying over Africa on a flight like no other. The sun, which was directly above Concorde, just went completely dark in what was to become the most unique solar eclipse ever witnessed. In 1973, scientists were able to cheat and experience 74 minutes in the moon's shadow by flying in the only vehicle capable of chasing an eclipse. In order to stay in the moon's shadow for as long as possible, Concorde had to follow a very precise flight plan. The best chance for achieving this was over Africa, but this didn't give the team a whole lot of options for airports. Most of the runways in Africa were too short for Concorde, and the hot conditions meant that Concorde would have to carry less fuel during takeoff. They eventually settled on the island of Gran Canaria, which had a cooler climate and a great runway. The plan was to take off, fly south, and intercept the moon's shadow at a specific point over Mauritania, where it would turn and follow the shadow across the Sahara Desert. But the path of the shadow wasn't straight, and instead followed a large curve. This would make science observations from inside Concorde very difficult if it had to constantly make turns. And so Pierre and his team came up with a straight line path that would touch the northern edge of the shadow, cut across to its southern edge, and end at its northern edge. This would give them up to 80 minutes in the shadow without having to make a single turn. Since the shadow would be traveling a little bit faster than Concorde, it would eventually outrun it, and so the team had to meet the shadow at a precise point on the shadow's leading edge. If they were to arrive more than 15 seconds late or a kilometer off, they would fall out of the shadow much sooner, and their time in totality would be drastically reduced. But arriving at the intercept point so precisely, with all the variables of weather, would be a huge challenge.